We've hosted companies like Figma and Circle, just to name a few. And joining me now for more on the IPO landscape is Avery Marquez, Director of Investment Strategies at Renaissance Capital. Avery, thanks so much for joining us this morning from Connecticut. How does the IPO market look to you?
Is in very good place. We are coming into that summer slowdown, but there is a lot of movement in the private sector, which tells us that we will see a more robust kind of buying and serious negative developments.
Avery, hopefully we can get your audio ironed out there a little bit. It seems as if you are indicating that momentum is picking up. Certainly, I mentioned some double IPO days that we've seen here at the stock exchange, Mountain and Hinge Health, for instance. Of course, Figma and Shoulder Innovations more recently, just last week as well. What are you seeing in terms of industries, companies, trends that are getting traction right now in the pipeline?
Yeah, we're seeing, of course, a lot of AI. We're seeing that with White Fiber going public today. We're also seeing just a broader a widening of that tech sector, especially in the private backlog, in terms of fintech, digital assets in particular, but definitely tech, AI. Those deals we expect to see a lot of in the fall.
Yeah, and how important is profitability on this journey for companies that are looking to tap the capital markets?
Yeah, that's going to be very important going forward. I mean, it has been for the last few years. So we've seen a lot of companies in the private backlog waiting to IPO, specifically to start making moves towards profitability so that they can come to market and pitch public investors a strong fundamental story, some compelling growth, and that clear shift towards profitability.
How are market conditions, i.e. where the stock market is currently trading, and of course new policies from the Trump administration playing into companies' timeline on when to do that IPO?
Yeah, market conditions look very good right now. The IPO index is actually up about 12% year to date. That's the benchmark for the whole IPO market, really outpacing the S&P right now. So we're seeing a really good environment for stocks, as well as IPOs specifically.
And in terms of what we anticipate this fall, I know you mentioned the pipeline does indicate a demand for technology and AI companies looking to tap these capital markets. How could the fall unfold in terms of the timing of deals and the cadence and size of the deals that we might see?
We currently expect to see public filing activity start to ramp up through the middle and end of this month, leading into more deals starting to come onto the calendar in September, a more robust end to the third quarter, and then a strong start to the fourth quarter before we taper off through that end of the year slow period.
And how closely do you think that these companies are watching interest rates? We heard from Jerome Powell and, of course, the rest of the Fed at the end of July, keeping rates steady after some disappointing jobs data that we saw in the most recent jobs report, including downward revisions to May and June. Traders are now betting that we do see a rate cut come September.
Public investors and companies alike will be watching that news very closely, as they have been for the past probably year and a half. Interest rates are important for these companies that are really relying on future growth. So a rate cut in the future, even expectations, will boost those names, encourage them to come to market going forward.
What else should our viewers know about the state of the market, what's in the pipeline, and where we go from here when it comes to IPOs?
You should know that the public pipeline does not provide a lot of visibility, so it's very important to keep your finger on the pulse of that private backlog. Those are the names that are going to be filling up that fall calendar and beyond.
Okay, we're going to be watching that fall calendar very closely. Avery, good to see the momentum pick up as you referenced there during this summer. That's Avery Marquez, Director of Investment Strategies at Renaissance Capital.
Thank you.